Okay, welcome everyone. Hope you're having a great day. This is 3.3, solving equation with variables on both sides. We have our two standards, right? Solving equations and simplifying. And today we're going to learn how to solve equations with variables on both sides by manipulating the equations. So including our simplification along with solving equations in here. So first one, consider the following equations, right? So we get A and B. If we look at both of them, we can see there's some similarities to it and there's some differences. Right? First off, we can tell both have x variables, right? Both are equations, right? So both have x variables in our equations. One has, so like A has the variable on the left, right? Negative 6x is on the left side. B has two of the variables. So variables on both sides. So they're kind of similar, but a little bit different, right? So B has variables on both sides. We want to solve this. Okay, so let's solve B. We're going to break this down. So what we're going to do, right? So with equal sign, we can draw our line. We are going to subtract the x variable on the right first. Okay, so we're going to subtract here, subtract 16x, and we're going to do it to both sides. And we're going to line up. So you see you kind of line up your x value, so it's a little bit easier. You just have to do 10 minus 16, right? It's nice and lined up perfectly for you. So the negative 16 is on the right, or 16 is going to cancel. On the left, 10 minus 16 is negative 6, and that's your x's. Then we bring down what's left, right? Plus 25 equals in the middle. And we have a 49 that's also going to come down on the right, right? 49. So now we have a two-step equation. So now we just manipulated our equation by subtracting 16x from the right. And now if we compare them, if we look at them, they are exactly the same, right? So if they are exactly the same equation, they should have the same solution. So both have the same solution. Okay, and let's solve it. So now we know how to solve our two-step equation, right? So let's solve our two steps. So remember, x is you, negative 6 is your partner, or you're attached to your partner. 25 is your friend. So you want to be alone, and you want to be alone with your partner first. So you're going to subtract your friends. Get that out of there. All right, give you some free time. So negative 6x comes down, equals in the middle, and then 49 minus 25 on the right is 24. And now you want to detach from your partner. In order to detach from your partner negative 6, we have to divide by that number. Negative 6 to detach that 6 from x. So x is equal to 24 divided by negative 6, negative 4. So once we have our two-step equation, right, subtract the x variable on the right first. Once we have our two-step, then we can solve it. All right, so both have the same solution. This one must also be x equals negative 4 because they're identical equations. Okay, so let's go down to our examples here. Like this one, same thing. We want to subtract the x variable on the right first, then solve x as usual. So we're going to subtract 16x to get our two-step equation that we did last time. And now we can solve that. Subtract 25, divide by negative 6, we get x equals negative 4. This one, we have distribute first because we have the parentheses. So we just free x by distributing it. 4 times 5x, 20x, 4 times negative 7, we get negative 28. And now we have equation with variables on both sides. We subtract the right side first. So subtract 10x first. And when you have a two-step equation, then we know how to solve that. Right? Add 28 divided by 10. If we have two parentheses, we distribute both of them. Right? Distribute both. We have our equation here. and we subtract 9x, right? Subtract the right side x's first, then you do it to both sides. Now we have our two-step equation. Get rid of your 99, friends. Divide by negative 18, and you have your solution. Okay, so let's go to number 1. So we're going to free x first by distributing. Okay, so we're going to distribute 9 to both x and 3. Okay, so we have 9 parentheses x, 9 parentheses 3. So 9 times x, 9x. 9 times 3, 27. So everything on the left, right, we can draw a line in the middle again. So everything on the left is going to be 9x plus 27 equals in the middle. Everything on the right, just come on down, right? So 4x and negative 3. Now we have variables on both sides. Okay, so we want to subtract what's on the right first. So we're going to subtract this 6x, or 4x. So subtract 4x. Okay, so subtract as the x variable on the right first. Okay, so we're going to stick to that pattern. That's our fallback plan. So that cancels out on the right. So now all our x's is going to be on the left side. So 9 minus 4, 5. And that's x's. Bring down the plus 27. Bring down minus 3. Now we have our two-step equation that we can solve. We know how to solve these. Right, get rid of our 27 friends first. So we get 5x equals negative 3 minus 27. It's negative 30. Then we're going to detach from 5 by dividing. Right, detach from your partner. You have to divide by that number. So we have x is equal to negative 30 divided by 5, negative 6. And that's our solution, negative 6. Okay, let's do number 2. Same thing, we have parentheses, we're going to distribute first. So release the x by distributing. So we're right, so 2 parentheses 12, 2 parentheses negative 8x. So we have 2 times 12, 24. 2 times negative 8, negative 16 with 1x. So everything on the left is going to be 24 minus 16x equals in the middle. Everything on the right just comes out again. Oh, let's look at it. Can we combine like terms? Because we have x. Remember, if there's a number or letter with no number, it's a 1. Right? So it's a 1 here. So 1x. So we did 1 minus 11. We get negative 10. So negative 10x. So we just combine the variables or combine like terms on the right side. Now we're going to subtract the x variable on the right. So we're going to subtract this negative 10. So to subtract negative 10 is adding 10, right? Double negatives. So we're going to do the opposite. Plus 10x. And we're going to do it to both sides. And we're going to line up our x values, right? So we line up our x values here. So it's already there. So let's keep it nice and clean. So this 24 comes down. Let's do it. So negative 16 plus 10, negative 6x. This cancels. So you have 0 on the right, nothing's left. So we do 24. Okay, then we're going to solve it. So we're going to solve, get rid of our 24 friends, right? Minus 24. Both sides. So we have negative 6x equals negative 24. Detach from negative 6. We get x equals negative 24 divided by negative 6, positive 4. So x equals positive 4. Okay, number 3. Okay, again, we're going to distribute. So we distribute our 8. 8 times 2x, 8 times negative 6. Right on the side here. So 8 times 2x, 8 times negative 6. we have 8 times 2, 12 with x's. 8 times negative 6, negative 48. Okay, so this becomes 12x, or 16. 16. So 16 x's minus 48. Bring down what's left, so we have 3x. This comes down. 2 and 14x also comes down. Those are not like terms because they don't have x's, right? One is a number, one is an x. So you can't combine those. Okay, so now we can combine like terms on the left side, right? We can see that we have 3x and 16x. That's going to combine to 19x's. You can also do your columns like we did before, right? So our x and our numbers. And let's just do that to show. So we have 3x and we have 16x, and our numbers is negative 48. And if we add those, so 3 plus 16, it will give us that 19x, and our numbers by itself is negative 48. Right, so this comes out negative 48 equals, and everything on the right just comes down with it. Right, 2 plus 14x. So now we have variables on both sides, and then we can simplify this. Right, so we're going to subtract the variable on the right. So we subtract 14x on the right, and then do the same thing on the left. Get rid of that x's on the right first. And 19 minus 14, 5. So 5x, bring down, minus 48, equals, bring down our 2 that's left over. Now we have a two-step equation that we can solve. Right, so we're going to solve this. So first get rid of your negative 48 friends, right? Add 48. Bring down 5x. 2 plus 48 is 50. Then we detach from that 5. We have to divide by that 5. So x equals 50 divided by 5, 10. So x equals 10 is our solution. Okay, so we're just distributing. Combine like terms if we need to. Subtract the x variable on the right to get it on the left, so you have a two-step equation to solve. And then we can go from there. And number 4. Same thing, distributing. 12 times 3, 12 times x. All right, and we have our middle. Let's write that out. So we get 12 parentheses 3, 12 parentheses x. 12 times 3, 36. 12 times x, 12x. So this becomes 12x, or 36 plus 12x. Equals, on the right side we can distribute that to 5 times 2x, 5 times 8. So 5 times 2, 10 with 1x. 5 times 8, 40. So on the right side is 10x plus 40. So now we have variables on the right side again, so now we can subtract the x's on the right. So subtract that 10x. Do it to both sides, line up our x values. It's going to cancel. So 12 minus 10 is 2 x values. I'm going to bring down this 36. Bring down the 40 on the right. So now we have a two-step equation again that we can solve. Right, so we can solve that. Once we have here, we can solve it. Right, so we're going to subtract our friends, 36 friends. We want to be our partner 2. 36, that cancels. 2x comes down. 40 minus 36 is 4. Then we can divide by 2 to detach from our partner 2. X equals 2. Right there. So x equals